Ladies and gentlemen, you believe you know the people around you. You believe you understand your friends, your family, your colleagues, perhaps even your enemies. But what if I told you that most human beings are not only strangers to you, but strangers to themselves? What if I told you that behind every smile, every polite gesture, every expression of love, loyalty, or kindness, there exists a deeper force, silent, irrational, and endlessly self-serving, that governs everything they do? You see, man does not reveal himself through what he says, but through what he cannot help but do. And once you understand this, once you understand the hidden engine behind human behavior, you will begin to read people not in minutes but in moments. Today, I will share with you 9 psychological truths, observations drawn not from optimism but from reality, that will allow you to see human nature as it truly is, not as it pretends to be, but as it is. Truth number 1. People reveal their character through trivialities. It is not in grand gestures that a person's character is revealed. No, those are rehearsed. Anyone can behave nobly when they know they are being watched. Anyone can appear generous when generosity brings admiration. But observe how a man treats a waiter. Observe how a woman reacts when interrupted. Observe the irritation in someone's voice when they must repeat themselves. In these tiny, seemingly insignificant moments, when the mask slips, you see the truth. Character leaks out in impatience. It trembles in tone. It exposes itself in how one behaves when there is nothing to gain. Truth number 2. The will is stronger than the intellect. Man likes to believe he is a rational creature. He is not. He is a creature of desire who merely pretends to think. Long before a person constructs an argument, he has already decided what he wants to believe. His intellect then becomes a servant, crafting explanations, justifications, philosophies, to defend what his will has already chosen. When someone insists they are being logical, be cautious. More often than not, logic is merely the lawyer of desire. So if you wish to understand someone, do not listen to their reasoning. Ask instead, what does this person want? And suddenly their contradictions will make perfect sense. Truth number 3. Every person is acting in their own self-interest. Even the most charitable act, even the kindest gesture, contains within it a subtle form of self-preservation. The desire to feel good, to be seen as good, to avoid guilt, to gain approval. A man donates to the poor, but tells others of his generosity. A friend comforts you, but secretly enjoys feeling needed. This does not make them evil, it makes them human. True selflessness is rare, because the will always seeks its own continuation, even through kindness. And when you begin to see this, betrayal becomes less surprising. Truth number 4. Intelligence does not equal depth. You will encounter people who speak eloquently, who quote literature, who win debates, who impress crowds. And yet, they lack depth. Because intelligence is the ability to think, but depth is the ability to suffer. A person who has never struggled, never failed, never endured loneliness or humiliation may possess a sharp mind, but a shallow soul. Look not for cleverness. Look for humility. Look for restraint. The deeper a person has suffered, the quieter they tend to become. Truth number 5. People are predictable. Though man believes himself free, he is largely governed by habit and temperament. Give a man wealth, and his true nature will expand. Give him power, and it will reveal what was always there. Observe someone long enough, and you will begin to see patterns. The jealous become jealous again. The generous remain generous, even when it costs them. The dishonest lie not once but repeatedly. Human beings are less spontaneous than they imagine. They are repetitions. Truth number 6. People fear being alone more than being miserable. You may wonder why someone remains in a loveless marriage, why they tolerate disrespectful friendships, or why they stay in environments that slowly destroy them. It is not because they are unaware. It is because loneliness terrifies them more than suffering. To sit alone with one's thoughts, without distraction, without validation, this is unbearable for most. So they choose noise over peace, company over truth, familiar misery over unfamiliar silence, and in doing so they reveal the strength of their dependence. Truth number 7. Envy is universal, but hidden envy rarely announces itself. It smiles, it congratulates you, it says, "I am so happy for you." But beneath the surface it compares. It diminishes. You will recognize envy not through open hostility, but through subtle withdrawal, through faint praise, through a lack of enthusiasm when you succeed, The envious do not wish you harm. They simply wish you were not ahead. Truth number 8. Most people cannot tolerate honesty. We claim to value truth, but only in theory. Tell someone what they want to hear, and they will call you kind. Tell them what they need to hear, and they will call you cruel. This is why flattery thrives and candor is punished. If you wish to test someone's maturity, offer them gentle honesty. Their reaction will tell you everything. Truth number 9. Everyone wears a mask. Society demands performance. And so we perform. The confident man hides his insecurity. The cheerful woman conceals her despair. The successful leader doubts himself in silence. Each of us constructs an identity, carefully curated, to survive social life. But the mask is exhausting, and eventually it slips. Usually in anger, sometimes in fatigue, occasionally in love. And when it does, you see not who they pretend to be, but who they are. So, how do you read anyone instantly? You stop listening to what they say, and start observing what do they do when they are ignored. How do they behave when they are powerless? What irritates them? What do they envy? What do they fear losing? These are the questions that reveal the will, and the will is the man. In truth, to read others is not merely a skill, it is a responsibility. For once you see people clearly, you lose the luxury of illusion. You see their weakness, their longing, their contradictions, and perhaps even their pain. But in understanding them, you may finally begin to understand yourself. Because the same will that drives them drives you. And only by recognizing this shared struggle can we begin to approach wisdom. So the next time you meet someone, do not ask who they say they are. Ask instead, what is it that they cannot help but reveal? Thank you.